What's good, people? It's the Rap Roundtable here. Your boy Jarves, the City Rap Snob, Diddy the Balance, the homie Mace. We just need y'all to like, share, and subscribe when you tap into the videos. We're trying to reach 5,000 subs and eventually 10K subs. And with your help, we could definitely do that. Especially people who watch the videos and don't sub. You watching, we appreciate it. But the subs help us run it up even more. For our people who are already sub, make sure you hit that bell right next to the subscribe option. Pick all. When you pick all, it allows us to feed you what you need to get from us immediately. If you don't hit all, you'll get it when YouTube decides to give it to you. But if you hit all, you get the streams, you get the community posts, you get our regular uploads, you get everything. Hit all, help us run these numbers up, 5K, 10K, build a Rap Roundtable brand. Tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
So on Twitter, I saw a conversation happen with the homie Iron Myers, you know, another big supporter of the Rap Roundtable, comments on a lot of things. We chop it up with him on Twitter, and I saw he was responding to a post from the Nas Club, and this person says, that's his name, Nas Club. I'm not trying to be funny.
Everything sounds like sand out of your mouth, bro.
That's his name. That's his name, bro. I don't understand.
Yo, it was a comment from some Nas Club. I don't know.
I thought that was a shot. I'm not even going on, man.
His name is Nas Club.
Yo.
Come on.
I can confirm. I saw it.
So
it's actually Nas Club.
Nas Club says, whoever noticed when it comes to Nas, the numbers is all they can talk about. They can never discuss lyricism or who has pen is unmatched. Or I think he means or how his pen is unmatched. So that got me to thinking, is Nas the biggest or greatest underdog in rap history? With all these narratives we see on the internet, I would say over the last 18 months when it comes to Nas, there's this idea that he's underappreciated, he's an underdog, he's an underground legend in some corners. So the narrative is locked in. I see Syph over there shaking his head.
Yo.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
I just
Let
got
me
one
chill.
request for you before you continue. Can you just scooch up a little bit so we can see you good on the camera? Let the people see your beautiful face.
Yes,
Since you responded, that's how I work here.
Yeah.
Once I see somebody getting antsy, I'm giving him the ball.
Man, like, no.
Is he the biggest underdog in history?
Hell no.
Talk to me, Syph.
No. Yo, that's the only nigga I ever knew who did a song backwards. What other nigga done a song backwards?
Rewind was crazy.
What if they did? Please correct me.
Right.
Somebody stole that idea recently, but I don't remember.
But I'm saying they stole it from.
There we go.
On Flex.
Whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of mid.
It was super
You
mid.
heard what I said? Whatever. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
But
Because
yeah,
it wasn't a
Syph.
real story. It was just like.
was
He just
some
rapped
shit said
backwards,
backwards,
like.
It was
And
clout.
I'm actually listening to it. And I'm like, is it really backwards?
It was
like,
clout bars, bro.
Yeah.
I need because that's some bullshit right there. Because let me say, he performed Illmatic at the Kennedy Center.
Right.
Do you know how prestige a place that is?
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's not underdog shit, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Fuck out of here.
So when people say he's this underdog, under this, under that, you don't buy it.
I don't buy that shit at all.
Fair
Name
enough.
a nigga. I don't know no other nigga that did a song backwards. Please tell me.
That's goat shit.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
Facts.
You heard who said that, right?
And he's from Brooklyn.
He's from Brooklyn.
And I'm a Jay-Z fan. I fuck with Nas, but I'm a Jay-Z fan. But I'm honest. Like,
Can I
the fuck?
contrarian you real quick though?
Go ahead, Deanie.
I mean, at some point, Nas kind of was the underdog, was he not?
We were talking about the Jays. All right, yeah.
I mean, when take the Jay takeover shit.
Okay.
When he responded with the Stillmatic, did we think that was going to out-hove the way it did?
No, but Jay woke up asleep in bed because at that point Nas was in a slump.
That's what I mean by underdog.
Yeah.
When Hove dropped the takeover, I was like, how is Nas gonna come back from this?
But he came back.
But he came back, and that's what I mean by underdog. So he obviously came back. The underdog don't come. The overdog don't come back. The big nigga don't come back. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
You gotta be kind of the underdog to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, and then even with the Stillmatic album,
Yeah.
we didn't know he had that same.
That was like his
figure,
first.
bro.
That was like his first comeback, basically.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's in that sense, underdog financially. We didn't know. You remember back in the days we was turned down Coors Light commercials. We didn't know he would have the financial means the nigga has today. When I say underdog, I mean more like the expectation. We didn't think he was gonna be able to do certain things that he did.
Okay.
That's why I would place him as the underdog.
Okay, I respect.
So
that.
with the
I respect that
greatest
point.
underdog in rap history?
Yeah.
All right.
Because he actually fulfilled all the things he came from under. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
You right.
And did and knocked everything out the park.
Here comes
What's
Sin.
Sin, guys?
Take off the cowboy hat.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I don't know, man.
Cowboy hat Nas was an underdog.
Nah. Yeah, fuck with me.
right.
Listen to where
We
we're
locking
going.
in. We locking in.
I think the whole question is weird because he came into the game as
The guy.
the golden child,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second
the
coming.
chosen one, the second coming of Rakim,
Neo.
the God. You know what I mean? And I think if there is a feeling that he is an underdog or was ever an underdog, I think it stems from how he came into the game and who he was being compared to, and where the game was when he came in versus where it was when he was 3-4 albums in. Right. So like Nas comes in the game and he's a direct lineage from like the G-Raps and the Rakims, but then the game changes on him, and Nas didn't really. You could tell. I'm not saying nothing
He didn't
that
embrace it.
Right. I'm not saying nothing that nobody could possibly disagree with. Nas did not really change with the game as the game was changing.
Right.
He was a little bit opposed, so you could feel it in his energy. He did, like certain songs, certain joints, he did almost felt like he was doing them reluctantly. Like, I gotta do it to be, relevant in the game, but that's not really where my heart is at. And I think that's really where this underdog narrative started from, because his counterpart, his nemesis, Jay, arch rival Jay, he embraced all of that. And Jay was like one with the industry, whereas Nas he always kept like an anti-industry sort of energy.
fact,
Like
yeah.
one foot in the industry, but one foot out, just to keep myself sane and keep myself grounded in what I know that I love and what my real energy is. And honestly, so like if there is a feeling that Nas is an underdog, I feel that he's an underdog compared to the industry.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the industry is like Goliath and he's David. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about it.
That's a fire take, Sin.
Interesting.
Mace.
So, this question, I also like Sin. It took me a second to really like get around this question about how I really wanted to respond. You know what I mean? And the underdog trope in hip hop is overused to me. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a fan reaction more than anything. Your fans make you feel like an underdog. Nas, as far as I'm concerned, has always been signed to a major, unless he didn't want to. Like maybe now, you know what I'm saying? He's always been hugely respected by peers. You know what I mean? He's always, Job said Nas used to go platinum every time out until the game was just so low in sales, until he was a legacy act, I guess I should say. You know what I mean? So at one point, was Nas the biggest underdog in the game? Yeah. When Rockefeller and Hov and all of them was stomping on Nas, yeah, he was an underdog. Flex
stomping on
Flex was saying he was done. You know what I'm saying? Flex was saying himself. Sort of, because of Nas himself, because like Sin said, the quality went down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, by the time I came into hip hop, Nas was not an underdog. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the GOATs. He was one of the, what I mean? He was one of the guys. He was one of the OGs that we looked at. So I think there's no biggest underdog ever. Was Nas the underdog in 01, 02? Yeah. What about 50 Cent when he came out? Dropped by his label, shot. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to sign him. Irv said himself. I was telling people not to sign him. At one point, he was the biggest underdog. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole. I talk about him every day, but at one point, J. Cole was the biggest underdog in hip hop.
College J. Cole.
So was Nas a huge underdog at one time? Yeah, but I don't feel like that little era in his career defines his entire career.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't.
Correct. I agree with you 100%. But that also bears the question, like, why was that era? Why has that era stuck with him? So like that what he was going through in that era, where he had like the minor slump, and then Jay came through, and the whole battle happened. Like that seems to be like how a lot of people define Nas today. Like
Right.
20 years later.
I got
like
the
why
answers.
why is that the case?
Because of Jay-Z.
Okay, elaborate.
Basically, the aftermath of the battle. Jay, for all intents and purposes, came out relatively unscathed. Let's say 5-6 months after Stillmatic and Super Ugly happened. Jay went right back to business as usual. Blueprint 2 dropped, 4 million.
Okay.
Black Album dropped, I think that did about 3 million. You know what I'm saying? They were still calling him the GOAT.
Okay.
So it's like for all of that, there's a segment of hip hop that felt like Jay-Z and Nas had this battle, but somehow Nas still didn't get his due. Hot 97 wouldn't let him do what he did, on the stage with the lynching and all of that. It felt like the powers that be, or they, were not allowing Nas to flourish in the aftermath of the battle, while Jay is still getting paraded as the GOAT.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But-
and I feel like that people got really turned off by the media because they feel like Jay was controlling the media. That's the thing we've heard.
No. I understand. Yeah.
Hot 9 specifically, though.
Hot Knobs? Because
I feel
Power
that.
wasn't this.
People feel
Right.
that.
You know
Because
what I mean?
Power was just coming out about that time. Yeah.
I feel like because the aftermath of the Hove battle, Hove basically still got to be Hove.
Angie
People still
Moore.
call him the GOAT.
Funk Flex.
But I think, and as a Nas fan, but as a fair Nas fan, with a level head,
Right? Talk to me.
I feel like some of the onus of that is on Nas.
How so? He was active during that time.
No. But like, number one, the fake lynching of Jay-Z
Wildin'.
on stage.
There's a
It's
bit
little
much.
It's
heavy?
a little much.
Heavy? Chat.
Little heavy.
Chat. Hold on, chat. Let us know. Was the lynching too much? Thumbs up or thumbs down? A little heavy?
Lee, how do y'all feel about it out there? Because even like back then, in my heaviest Nas bag, I was like, "Yo, bro, what's wrong with him right now?" Like,
He hated.
I think he was just angry.
Nah,
Like,
but
he was like,
bro,
going on.
he was angry.
and I understand that.
Look at
But
Syfe making a point here.
Yeah, he was like, and
He
then
was going through a
mad
lot.
shit. His mom's was sick and all
he
that.
was going through a
Yeah.
lot, and I understand it, but I also see it from the media's point of view. Like, no, we're not gonna let you just come on stage and fake hang one of the biggest stars
All right.
in hip hop.
Let me be devil's advocate.
But then also he was coming directly at the necks of a lot of radio DJs
Yes, he
and
was.
personalities.
So let me push back against that, Sin. Nas, at that point in time, viewed Jay-Z as everything wrong with hip hop. So maybe his lynching was more symbolic, like, yo, he's a parasite. We need to get this kind of hip hop out of here. What do you say to that?
if I'm engulfed in that energy at the time and seeing what he was going through and seeing how rooted he is in traditionalism, in hip hop traditionalism and like the pure hip hop, I could kind of see it, but like not enough to take it that extra mile.
Okay.
Like it was just an extra mile that he did. It was an extra level. He went to like 12 on a scale of 1 to 10. Like it didn't need to go that far.
Okay.
And ultimately, like we kind of spoke about it in New York Bias too. Go check that out. It's like even that little moment where the game was against Nas fans will never forget that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they'll never forget when we doubted, the GOAT. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like it's almost like how we mentioned, like a girl remembering when you called her ugly back in the day. She ain't never gonna forget that, bro.
I'm
Right,
gonna let
facts.
you let that down.
That's a fact. And even like basketball, like you seen how Steph acted after he won his 4th chip? Because he couldn't believe that people doubted how great he was after 3 of them. My man was crying. He didn't cry for none of the other chips, but he cried for number 4 because of the doubt from them. You know what I'm saying?
He worked for that one.
That's
for that
a fact.
one.
No
Yeah,
KD.
he worked for that one.
To close the segment out, my whole argument is I don't think he's the greatest underdog. I think it's the greatest narrative in rap history that he's the biggest underdog. Because to me, I always say, I've said it so many times on this podcast, when I got into hip hop at a high level, Nas was already a superstar. You know what I'm saying? He was that guy. Like you put on whatever rap video show you was watching at that time, he had videos on. He was that nigga.
But the
facts.
lows were low though. That's what it is.
But
though.
bro, like he was a mega star.
Absolutely, but
nigga,
like,
Is
hold on, let's go back. Let's go back. Fans, tap into. Let's all go back in time. Josh, you too. Think about where you were in your life when Belly was coming out. And how big Belly was.
It was huge.
Forget what it did in the box office.
Yeah.
Hip hop was.
I had to post it on my wall, bro.
I'm in junior high school. And we felt the energy around Belly. Nas and DMX doing a movie with Hype Williams.
Yeah, I went to the movies. I went to the movies, and I was supposed to go to that shit to see that by myself. Yeah.
Son,
are we gonna have an honest conversation about Belly right now?
No.
All right.
No,
it's a shame how much I like Belly. Me and Finn will debate one day. I love Belly, bro.
I love Belly.
All right.
Let's be clear. Sin might be on his own with Belly. He might be.
You don't know Keanu.
I don't know no fucking Keanu.
Wow, bro.
I understand. I understand the relevance and impact it had on the culture. I truly understand it.
Right.
I can name a very incredible moment that I had while that movie was playing. So I understand the impact. But if we have an honest conversation about it,
the movie's a classic.
Classic.
That's it.
Classic.
I'm about to watch that when I get to the crib tonight.
Classic.
But it's a classic. As far as like the lows, you remember
Mark for Death.
Yeah.
Shotters.
Yeah.
Belly.
Paid in Full.
Paid in Full.
Juice.
nah,
Classic.
Paid in Full is on a different tier though.
Classic.
I feel.
Shit, Paper Soldiers is low-key a classic.
That's a fact.
Killer Season is low-key a classic. Fuck out of here.
Y'all going too far.
State property. I thought
State property.
Wait.
What hand you gonna look with?
Where the Streets is Watching rank?
Classic.
That's super classic. Super classic.
Every
Yo,
one of them.
when they cut away, like it's night, they cut away, they cut back, and it's daytime.
Nah, fuck that. Still classic.
We're not counting that.
Ignorant. Still classic.
We're not counting that.
All right.
Man, ignorant.
We're not counting that.
We know cinematic is not a classic.
But for
It's fucking poor. But it's classic.
Going back to the Nas lows.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat Nas.
Yo, why you keep bringing that up?
Because it's a part of his history.
Bro, you brought it up twice before that. And Sin talked through that.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
It's Cowboy hat Nas. You know what I'm saying? I Am was on every carpet.
Damn.
Yeah.
Every hustler had it on the carpet.
I have an unpopular opinion about that. You're going to hit the fuck out of here button. But I like that album.
I Am is fire.
I like that album.
I Am is fire.
People shit on that shit.
But they bootlegged the shit out
I know
of it
they
and
did.
fucked up the sales.
Because it's supposed to be like two CDs or something, right?
Exactly. And after that, we got Nostradamus, bro.
I hate that fucking album.
That's what there's a thing we say here. It has a couple joints. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna talk about that now.
I want problem.
That was a part of the Underdog story, right?
Okay.
But here, I always maintain, and I have absolutely zero evidence for this, but I always go back to the I Am bootlegging, and the way that Bad Boy had changed the game, and then Jay-Z was embracing that game change, and Nas. His plan was to drop I Am and be like, yo, I'm not doing none of this radio friendly shit. Like, people didn't like when I did the fucking, Black Girl Lost on It Was Written
shit with
or
Aaliyah.
whatever.
Shout out to Judas.
I'm going back
tonight.
I'm going back to my bag.
But to be fair to Nas and Jay, it was easier for Jay to embrace that.
It
was. But then the fact that it was so heavily bootleg. The bootleg was so rampant. I'm like,
bad.
No, somebody at the label leaked that shit because they were not happy with the songs that he was putting on a double. It was gonna be two CDs, 2 discs of fucking conscious shit, street shit, no radio friendly shit, and the people at the label was not gonna have that. They was like, nope, let's leak the shit. Everybody will have it. Now we have an excuse to go back in the lab, get in with Aaliyah, get in with Timberland, get in because now we got
let me
the
ask you
excuse.
this before we move to the next segment because we gotta lock back in with Cypher. Wouldn't you kind of blame Nas for that, just being hard headed, just not and bear with me, chat.
I'm down, y'all.
Just considering the times, like you signed to a major, you gotta give him something.
You do, but this is what I'm saying. This goes back to my take on the situation. If he's an underdog, it's because he is the David to the Goliath of the industry. I don't think he's an underdog under any other artist per se. Just as an artist in the industry that wasn't really always fucking with the direction the industry was going in,
Right.
simply because of the way he came in and his lineage and what people wanted of him and expected of him and what he felt in his heart.
And the
he wasn't
trials and
fucking with it.
tribulations, considering how good the motherfucker was.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's get back in with Syph Boogie. Hell of a segment, y'all. I think everybody delivered on that segment right there. You know what I mean? We definitely gonna put that on the internet. So Syph, you know, I don't know you anymore. You're a stranger. You're at the Rap Round Table. I know nothing about you.
Brand new here.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So my first question for you is
Yeah.
gonna be, I want you to talk about being an independent artist.
Okay.
You've been steadfast in being independent.
Yes.
So my question to you would be, what's the hardest part of being independent?
Oh shit! Just the I would say the finances, like just really, just like just keep I mean, like I'm gonna pay for shit, but it's just like like shit costs. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
lying.
using.
Shit costs, and it's like one of the
ain't
things
lying.
is like I don't because again it's business. Business is business. You got to spend money to make money, so it is what it is. But it's like sometimes you motherfuckers be.
It's expensive being a fucking rapper. And I don't even know what studio time costs in 2022. Like back in the day, it
One
was
of the
like
studios I
60 an
went to-
hour or some shit.
Shit is 100. Yo, I need to get a home studio.
Fact.
That's what I'm going to invest in because it's a lot, nigga. I got to pay rent.
Yeah.
I got to pay rent, nigga.
Relatable content.
Like, what
folks.
the fuck? Like, y'all niggas is bugging. Like, you know what I mean?
Copy. Well, like as far as like, let's stay right there for a second. Like as far as the support aspect, not having that big machine behind you, do you feel like you need to work super hard to get people to fuck with your shit?
I feel like for people fuck with my shit already because of the brand that I built over the years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's just at this point, I'm Nike.
Fair enough.
I'm Jordan. I'm the Jordan brand at this point.
All right, I dig
You know
it.
what I'm
And real quick, because
Yeah.
I don't think I know what our homies got to ask, but real quick, just reel off your resume. Let niggas know what you've
Oh, shit.
accomplished.
Listen, my shit been on ESPN.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had my song signed. This is off my album, Sometime in New York City, Volume 1, which is named after a John Lennon album, by the way.
There you go.
God, we just have
Beatles throw that in there.
Yes, sir.
NBA TV, one of them, Let's Work, and that was my old like.
I remember
old.
Let's Work.
Yeah,
I think I was in the studio
You
with
was in
you
the
for
studio
Let's
when I
Work.
did that. That
Yeah.
was 2006 shit.
Oh, 6.
We-
That's a good year.
Me and this nigga's rocking. But
Locked in.
Let's Work was the Boston Celtics. They use it for their team workout. And the funny shit, how I found out about that, I was asleep. And I was, sometimes I sleep with my TV on. And I thought I was dreaming.
You heard your
I
shit?
heard my shit. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then like it was like the
fire.
next day
Yeah, that's
I was
fire.
watching TV because it was still on NBA TV, and it was my song. I was like, oh shit.
Cut the check,
Where's
nigga.
my check at though?
I can see
a fact.
these finances.
You went
I got the
Residuals.
check. I got the check though.
from there straight to the mailbox.
Yes, I definitely got that check. Shout out to NBA.
Shout out to the NBA.
Now, you know what? I asked that question because, again, now I know you again.
Yeah.
And I always say, Syph don't talk his shit enough.
Yeah,
So, you know what I mean?
I know.
I want niggas to know, like, you've done a
I
lot.
thought shit.
You put a lot of
for sure.
pain in.
Yeah.
My next question for you would be, you referenced Jay-Z and Nas just now about influences.
Yes.
What about outside of New York City? Like, what other region do you feel has impacted your sound sonically?
Great question.
That's a great question. I love Texas artists like Texas.
okay.
I love it. Like
Hey.
Paul Wall, Bum B,
Okay,
Pimp C,
Houston.
R.I.P.
Heavy
like,
Houston, all right.
Heavy, yeah. I love Texas rap.
Okay.
So
Do.
I would,
No Meg?
that. Huh?
No Meg?
This
I
Texas.
What the fuck?
She's from Texas.
Matter of fact,
Shout to Meg. Shout to Meg.
Like, who is this guy? Where did he come from?
Texas.
I understand, but she cool.
Shout to Meg.
It's a decent question.
Shout to Meg. We need to hear that Meg
He's
Syph chat.
talking,
Yeah.
he's talking about artists from like
He said she
15,
cool.
20 years
Yeah.
ago.
I'm just trying to see the
that
climate.
influenced him.
Today's climate.
Crazy.
This man answered the question, and your misogynistic ass. What do I make?
No, he didn't say he loved Meg.
Meg is cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Meg is
She
cool.
has
He
I
these
like-
said
elements.
Paul Wall, Bun B, and Pimp C. Where the fuck is Meg in that equation?
Who's the popular artist today in Texas? Today.
You got niggas like Yellow Beezy who's working.
Shout out to Yellow Beezy, but no.
Oh damn, bro.
Come on.
He said, "Fuck out of here."
I like Yellow Beezy, but when's the last time somebody had a real conversation about Yellow Beezy music?
The Yellow Beezy fans, whoever that is,
Mace might have a real conversation.
The Yellow Beezy niggas gonna be on my head pause.
Fuck up
Shouts
the
to-
whole algorithm.
Shouts to Bankroll Freddy, you know what I'm
does not
saying?
support what Dini is saying about Bankroll and Yellow Beezy.
He's clicking more than Meg.
Yo, you know, ain't nobody clicking
That's
more
what
than
I'm
Meg.
saying. She's a
What,
big Texas
what are we
artist.
clicking for?
I try to shoot Meg some bail.
Unsolicited bail.
I did.
All right.
I like Maxo Cream too.
Maxo
Maxo Cream is nice.
Fire. He
Shout out to
fire.
Maxo.
Yeah,
Nah,
Maxo's
Texas got a
fire.
Yo, where's Sauce Walker from?
Sauce Walker's from Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Texas. There you
Sauce
go.
be having his
See?
vibes.
I like
Yeah.
Texas because Texas is that nice sweet spot between lyricism and southern pop.
Yeah.
It's like they got the.
It's like if New York City blended with Atlanta and had a little.
yes,
Yeah.
with a little bit of Atlanta, not Atlanta, California.
They got bars,
There's a
but
lot
they
of some
just
Cali
kind of
roots in
like
Texas.
Not
as
too
well.
much of the
throw a little
snappy
bit of
finger shit.
syrup on it, like just
And it
let
works.
yo,
Texas got heat.
like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, we talking about Texas fucking Blovian about Texas, but we biased.
We
That's a great answer, Sight, you know what I mean? Because you know what
They say.
Real shit.
I wanted to know for myself because we always talk about New York rap. And I
Yeah.
said, I know Cypher is a musical dude, so he's not just listening to bars all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
He's seeking shit out. So I said,
Yeah.
let me get to know my nigga real quick.
That's a
You know what I
fact.
mean?
That's a fact. Appreciate you, bro.
Texas rap is a good choice though because it's a lot of attention to detail when it
Yeah.
comes to Texas and hip hop.
Shit, shout out to my boy Jay Sands. He's from Texas. Yeah. So I want to link up with I want to link up and do shit with independent Texas guys.
Talk
Can
about
I-
it.
I want to tap into that
make sure to
vibe.
mention
Can I double
Scarface
up
too.
on? Can I double up on
Oh
Job's
my God,
question?
Scarface.
Make sure to
Scarface.
mention-
Yeah,
Oh,
Scarface.
absolutely.
Yeah.
For the
Can I double
Scarface
up on
heads.
Job's
Yes,
question?
Scarface.
Job
connect us.
asked the
Face mob.
hardest part of doing the whole independent
Yeah.
thing. So you said the finances.
Yes, yes.
Can you throw in something else that's really complex about doing it on your own?
Damn.
Promotion.
Not because I'm a marketing nigga, so it's like the promotion thing. Like I just hired I told y'all I hired a social media manager just now because early on I did a lot of my shit because I'm a marketing nigga. Like my degree is in fucking business administration, so I've taken marketing classes and things like that. So for the like the earlier part of my career, like I say 2012 and on, I was doing my shit. So I feel like that's what made me how people know me now from that, and that's the
hard
key
work
for
in the
my
marketing.
brain. But it's like now it's like the algorithm changed so much and shit like that. So it's like I'm
that's
so
so
busy.
Trying to keep up with that shit
Changes
is
I'm
every
so
other
busy because I gotta
day.
fucking write raps and shit like that and things like that. So I don't
do
have
the
time to
business
do it.
aspect of it, yeah.
I don't have time to do that. So I'm like, I always knew I needed a social media manager. So I finally hired one. So and it's been going well, you know what I mean? So it's just like it's my ideas, but it's like, hey, do this, do.
Somebody implementing the shit
right?
for you.
Implement, not like do it, but it's like, hey, do. Hey, we
Can't do
this.
everything by yourself.
Right.
That's a clean
right.
follow-up question, Dini.
Right.
I love it.